In Management Matters, the hunt for the government's oldest computer. The collaborative news site MuckRock.com needs your help tracking down the government computer most in need of an upgrade. Joining me with the latest is the man behind the project, Allan Lasser, developer for MuckRock. He joins us via Skype from Boston. Well, Allan, before we get into your search, tell us about MuckRock itself. What is it and how does it work?
So MuckRock is a collaborative news site where anyone can sign up to file a FOIA request. And we also publish investigative reporting, mostly based on government documents and requests we filed ourselves.
All right, well, last month you asked readers for help finding the, quote, clunkiest, slowest, punch-cardiest machine still in use by an agency. Why undertake this project? What were you looking for?
So there's a few reasons that this project's really interesting to me. The first is just like the novelty and the interest of it. Vintage computers are interesting and fun to read and learn about. And on a more practical and investigative note, it's really good to know what is either holding back agencies in terms of the technology they're using, or what agencies are really good about maintaining the technology they have and not overspending or upgrading too soon.
They might be embarrassed, though, to admit that they're still using an old Sperry Univac, for example. What have you found so far?
So far, I've mostly found a lot of Dells, computers going back to the early 90s. And that's only because I've only just started filing against some of the tips I've gotten. And I've been hearing about mainframes and different health and human services organizations. I've been hearing a lot of stuff about vacuum tube computers in the Navy, although nothing too specific yet. And I've also been hearing about scientific programs like NASA and the different national laboratories where there might be decades that are spanning, or experiments that span decades, and those computers need to be constantly up because when the experiment started, they were cutting edge.
Yeah, I think you're right about all that. So how can our viewers, Allan, in Washington and around the world on the American Forces Network contribute to your research?
Well, if you have any tips, you can send them to my email address, allan@muckrock.com, ALLAN. Or you can go online to muckrock.com, subscribe to the newsletter, and follow along.
Now, before you go, Allan, give us some perspective here. You graduated from Boston University in 2014 with degrees in computer science and American studies. As a millennial, how do you view the government's reliance on some of these ancient legacy systems? Do you find it funny, scary, frustrating, or all of the above?
Definitely all of the above. There's definitely, I definitely have respect for the departments that can maintain a system that old. I know there were some job postings for Fortran programmers a few years ago, I think at NASA, and that's super interesting, and it's great that we still have people practicing skills that would otherwise be antiquated. But on the other hand, when you have systems that aren't being maintained as well, there's real security vulnerabilities there, and it's important that we know where those are and so we can get rid of them.
Are you at a point where you would advise and suggest to the government what types of cutting-edge technology they use? I mean, I knew DARPA was working on a biological membrane computer years back. Anything current that's out there that you would say, hey, this is what you should give up and this is what you should use?
Well, I think if I had to give a suggestion, I'd say use stable, well-maintained system software, and go for the cheapest possible option if it's available, and also invest in people who can maintain these and try not to shop out your IT. There's plenty of cheap Linux boxes. Linux is a free distribution, and if we're talking about fiscal responsibility, that's a great place to start.
Well, I'll be curious what kind of clunky computer you end up finding in government. Allan Lasser, developer for MuckRock. Thanks and good luck, Allan.
Thank you.